Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how are you today? In today's video, I want to talk about what life could possibly be like after an economic collapse. And I did my research on this, and what I found was, let me just say, it did not paint a very pretty picture at all for us. So I'm going to jump right into this, okay? And if you have any input, if you've, experienced any of this, please, let me know, okay? First and foremost, there's going to be increased widespread hunger. This is something, that's going to be, without a doubt. To even think about these things, it hurts, but it's what comes, I guess, along with the territory, if that, I guess you could say, really. Grocery stores and other businesses will fail one by one, or like they'll be shut down because of rioting and looting, okay? And two ways really to prepare your family to make sure and to increase the likelihood that you'll be well taken care of, your family will be well taken care of, is to, one, obviously start a garden, and two, to stockpile now. And, obviously I know, there's preps that they'll run out sooner or later, right? But why not? Even if it's just an extra $25 a month that you're adding to your groceries now, or an extra $50 a month that you're adding to your groceries now. And I don't care if it's $25 in ramen noodles, or $25 in pasta, or $25 in instant potatoes, or $25 in dried beans. Add to your groceries now. I don't know what more I could possibly say to anyone, or how to open anyone's eyes even more. I really don't. But if this happens, an economic collapse, if this really does happen, which I'm going to go back to what my dad said the other day, by the end of this year, beginning of 2022, we're going to be back to when the Great Depression happened. So start a garden, stockpile food and water, and just prepare. Better to be safe than sorry, right? The next thing that we'll experience is sporadic public services, and this even includes our public schools, okay? The school system will experience frequent striking, the teachers aren't getting paid enough, so they're not going to want to teach anymore, they'll shut them down for long periods of time. We're going to start having power issues, like electricity issues. Outages are more frequent, and I'm not just talking rolling blackouts either. Roadways will become filled with potholes, even more. And I'm not just talking about if you're from Philly, or if you're from New York or Atlantic City, and the potholes are just awful, you know what I mean? It's not going to be just that. It's going to be a lot worse, like when Sean and I were just up in Knoxville, I mean, we were driving around Knoxville and we were like, oh God, the potholes are so bad here. It's going to be even worse than that. You know, um, there's going to be other signs of disrepair, and they're literally just going to be shoved aside, like swept under the rug. Like they're just going to be, you know, no one's going to be there to repair any of this anymore. Okay. Um, Something else that you're going to notice is like the water from your spigot is going to have like a really like funny smell. Um, Kind of like how did I describe it that one time? Like a rotten egg smell, I guess you could say. Um, and you'll have to like filter your water before you use it. So if like you have like a Berkey or Life Straws or stuff like that, I mean, it's going to require a heck of a lot more than just like boiling water. Okay. Um, Garbage collection is even going to be sporadic. You're going to notice that like there's garbage pile up on the sides of the roads and things like that. Your cell phone and internet service is going to be unreliable, although you keep paying for it. It's like, service on a daily basis is going to be touch and go. Um, Increased littering on the streets and the lack of the garbage pickup. What's going to happen is it's now going to clog like the storm drains, especially like when we have like large, or not large, like long bouts of rain, like during hurricane season and stuff like that. So, it's now going to clog the storm drains and things like that. Now, in order to prepare for sporadic public utility services, research now on alternative methods for getting what you need. Like consider like solar or wind power energy, digging a well, installing rain catchment system, getting a compost toilet, that kind of stuff, right? The next thing that we're already seeing, but it'll be like, elevated to like the utmost extreme, will be like civil unrest. Okay. And this like civil unrest will become like our new normal. Sad to say, but it'll literally become our new normal. People will stop caring about why people are protesting. It'll just be like, oh, it's just another day. Sad, but it's true. Violence and vandalism will just become a part of our everyday life. Why am I even speaking about this? Why should we even have to prepare for something like this? This shouldn't even be a damn conversation, but it is. More people are going to be armed, right? And tempers are going to be short, increased knife fights and shootings. And this is going to put like a really huge strain on like our emergency services, like fire, police, EMT, first responders of all kinds. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to start to see is strains like on transportation, right? Daily travel is going to be like dangerous for us to do. Okay. Like even for like buses and subways and air travel and stuff like that. Roads are going to be so unrepairable. Okay. Because of like potholes and things like that. There's going to be more carjackings and muggings, and they're going to be more frequent. Gas prices are just going to skyrocket. I mean, you thought it was bad during the Obama era when it was $5 a gallon. Just wait, right? Car parts are going to be hard to find, okay? And, I can literally tell you not from experience, but from what Sean has told me, okay? When he works in the airport and all, he would literally say, well, people who travel from like Cuba or Venezuela, okay, he'll say, you wouldn't believe what they have in their bags. I'm like, talking about. And this is when he worked down in like baggage and stuff like that. And he said they would have car parts in their baggage. And I'm like, car parts? And he said, yeah. So I looked up, why would people from other countries be buying car parts here? And it's because, like, literally, they can't get car parts in their countries because, like, the most newest car that they have in like Cuba is like 1960, 1970 something. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's so strange. Car parts, really? And then they also like stockpile food in their luggage. I know. It's like not something that you would think about, you know? Also, like they also do, like they'll go to like the Dollar Tree here and they'll pack their suitcases with stuff from Dollar Tree. Okay, next thing that we're going to start to see and experience, okay, is criminal activity. Like the saying goes, desperate times, desperate measures, desperate people, desperate things. That you know what I'm talking about. Now, people will cross that line, and it's to feed their families. Okay, we hear about it all the time. People will steal from a grocery store because their kid is hungry. We hear about it all the time. Have we ever experienced it? No. I haven't. Have you? You know, sometimes people like us will lend that helping hand. But there's going to come a time when we're going to have to, I don't even want to talk about it, you know, because we shouldn't even have to talk about it. We shouldn't even have to think on this level. We shouldn't have to want to prepare for something like this. Jeez, you know, it's just going to increase. It's going to get worse. Anyway. The next thing is, you know, people are still going to be in debt like we are now. You know, our country's in debt, right? People, individuals are in debt. And just because the dollar collapses doesn't mean that the banks and the lenders are no longer going to come after you for what you owe, right? So if you can get out of debt, get out of debt. Then comes the housing issues. People are going to lose their homes to foreclosure. It's already happening, right? And you're going to see families moving in with families. You know, you're going to have 3 families living in a 1-family household. And then what's going to happen to all those empty homes? Well, they're going to fall into disrepair. The lawns are going to get overgrown. Pests and rodents, they literally thrive in empty buildings. Abandoned homes, if they don't get torn down or maintained by the city or the township or whatever, then, you know, squatters. And here in the state of Florida, I don't know how it is like everywhere else, but here in the state of Florida, do you know that squatters actually have more rights than homeowners do? It's like, are you kidding me? But it's true. So what I would suggest, this is what Sean and I do. if you can pay ahead on your mortgage, or, you know, like pay down the principal or pay off your house, I would, you know, strongly suggest you do that. I know you can't pay off your house like, you know, oh, tomorrow let's go pay off the house. I'm saying make an extra payment this month, or like a half a payment, or, you know, when you're going in and you're paying your mortgage, put extra money towards your principal, that type of thing. Get yourself ahead of the game. You will put yourself in a better chance of keeping control of a collapse when it happens. You'll have better control of your situation. The next thing is, you know, unemployment will skyrocket. It's already happened. Unemployment is out of control right now. Never thought I would say that either, but it's true. But when a collapse happens, finding a job will be literally impossible. Literally impossible. So prepare for possible unemployment by having an emergency fund. I've said this before. So, like, if you can have like 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund set aside, like literally like stuffed in your mattress or whatever the case may be, try and get that done. Stocking up on food and other supplies, medical supplies, water, you know, whatever. Stock it. Okay. The next thing is healthcare will be almost non-existent. And it has to do with not just because of job loss. Because, you know, once you lose your job, you also lose your health benefits. So, you know, healthcare appointments will be very difficult to schedule. It'll take longer to get in to see a doctor. It's going to overwhelm the healthcare system, like with free clinics and the ERs. It's going to create, I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. So why not go ahead and create like your own little clinic in your house? Not saying, you know, become a doctor, become a nurse. Have like a really awesome first aid kit. Get your OTCs, stockpile those. You know what I mean? Learn how to use different things. Blood pressure kit, pulse oximeter, you know, that type of thing. Learn how to identify and use wild plants, natural remedies to treat minor illnesses and diseases, that type of thing. That's what I'm referring to. But anyway, that's all for this video, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay positive, stay warm, fearless, if it's possible. And yeah, I'll see you later.